Well, welcome back to Shiplap Renovate. I'm Gary and this is Carmen. And we're continuing to make some great progress. What you're looking at is the beautiful back wall of the shower in the master bedroom. It turned out beautiful. And Carmen just finished up the white tile on the side. We put some niches in, so we've got a place to put shampoo and soaps. And then this was Kristen's suggestion or request, was to have something to put her leg up for shaving.
You're lucky that the bottom is dry.
I am.
I almost yelled at you, but then I realized that I did that last night. It's dry.
So instead of having a bench, which you would typically see in a shower, or like a corner shelf for leg shaving, we decided just to keep it all uniform and neat and tidy and just stick it into the walls.
All right, we have a lot more going on this week. We actually have we have a little surprise we want to show you over in the living room, and there's a couple other things that are finished, so why don't we go take a look at that.
Okay, there's a lot of changes happening here in the kitchen. It's like all of a sudden things are coming together. We got our new microwave put in. Now that the cabinets are in, we were able to put that in. And this is kind of a new design feature. We did it in our last house with a kitchen remodel. And I just love it. I like having it off the counter, not on the wall, taking up space, but instead stick it into a cabinet. Talk about the herringbone backsplash.
Oh yeah, we had I didn't have to do this. We had someone else put up this tile, and this is going to be behind the pot filler and the hood, and the range is going right here. So it gives you a nice clean surface to clean up when you have spills and splashes when you're cooking. And
then we went with shiplap throughout the rest of the kitchen. And we've got a really fun surprise that we're going to be doing up on that cornice board that's above the kitchen window. And things are really coming together. We are making some major progress. Okay, so we had the delivery of all deliveries, actually probably the most expensive delivery of all, but it's so worth it. Our hardwood floors, which are being done by Whitewood Hardware, which happens to be my brother-in-law, Ken Hilliker, incredible craftsman, just does a beautiful job with the floors. But we decided to go with the white oak, which you'll see it actually has more gray, more brown undertones than a traditional oak would. Traditional oak's got more orange and yellows.
Very orangey, yellowy colored, yeah.
Which is beautiful in some homes, but in this house, just with the color scheme we went with and the style, we felt like the white oak would be a much better choice for us. So now the decision is, do we just go with a clear coat over this, or do we go with a gray stain?
Yeah.
The plan's been gray stain all along, but we're not quite sure.
Yeah, it's really pretty. And especially with these knots, I love that you went with the knots in there, and you can see all that brown tie together.
Yeah, and an interesting thing, when you go with the boards that have knots, it's actually cheaper because it's considered B grade. But that's the character that we really want for this home, so we're happy to take the discount and get the look that we wanted. Last night we got the doors painted. Ended up taking just 2 of them completely off the hinges and painting them. They were painted on both sides. I did insert screws at the end so that we could just flip them without having to let them cure overnight. And I think that it did the job. I think it worked. Then the sprayers, we accomplished that. I made kind of a mess on the white. Okay, so we're in the hallway. We're painting with a spray painter, which is saving my arms and my back. It's awesome to use. I've never used it on the walls before, so I'm excited about that. And this is a great paint from PPG. We're loving it. But I think that's going to be an easy fix. Look at how pretty that door looks up against the Dover gray. You come down the hallway. Those are the doors that we got to get or openings we got to get the doors back on. So we've got Melissa Visaya from the Blue Barn here, and she's got over 20 plus years experience painting interiors. You probably didn't know that because she is now known for all her beautiful furniture painting. But we had to call in the expert to help us with doing some cutting in. There are so many surfaces and so many trim pieces throughout this whole house, which we love, we think is beautiful, but what a pain in the butt to have to cut everything in. So, Melissa, any tips for our viewers out there on cutting in?
Okay, so what I was just telling you guys, you get too much paint on your brush.
Yeah.
And then you get a big fat line. So I'm just going to put some paint on your wall. I don't think it'll make
Yep,
a
go
difference.
for it.
So, you know, most people will put, you see that?
Yep.
Put about that much paint. And sometimes people put more. If you go like, put that on, you got a big fat line of paint.
Right.
So what you want to do is dip it in and then take most of it off. Especially if you're just doing a little bit of touch up here. I'll get rid of that for you. And you're going to start up a little bit high with your brush, and you're going to start pushing the paint down to the trim. So instead of starting right at the edge of the trim, which can also push paint onto the trim, you're going to start a little bit higher and just work your way down.
All right.
And just go slow, and it might take a couple coats, but that's a lot better than putting too much paint on and then having to repaint the trim and then repaint the wall and then do it back and forth. So
Cool.
that's my tip.
All right, thank you. Okay, so the pass-through, I don't know what else to call this.
They're doorways.
The doorways
Yeah.
have been all covered up with oil wax by Sweet Pickens, and I love the effect of it. And so we've got one more to do. It's going to be the passageway between the living room
And
to
the
the
great room,
family
yeah.
room. And then we've got to get the slider doors up on the barn hardware. We've got doorknobs on. It's so cool to actually come and see black hinges and black doorknobs on all these really beautiful gray doors.
Yeah, once the floor is in, it really, like, that's all that this needs here, the floor.
Yeah.
It's so close.
Okay, so when we bought this house, it already had this wood stove, which was not very pretty. I don't know if we've seen shots of it prior to yesterday, but the glass was all stained. There was rust that had formed on it, and the flue was just kind of a mess. And really, just taking a can of the heat-resistant black paint and taping everything off, it masked everything really well, and then I pretty much fumigated everybody in the house.
My allergies last night, I couldn't sleep because I was just a mess from breathing in because I was walking back and forth cutting tiles, and it was...
I should have put a mask on, I didn't, so shame on me. But look at the end result. I mean, I don't know if you guys have priced wood stoves, but they're really expensive. This one probably would be over $2,000. And it looks brand new now after being cleaned up and painted.
Yeah, it looks
you
great.
can see in the glass, it really is a beauty now. So don't cast out those old rundown wood stoves. They can have some life breathed back into them. Where are we at right now, Carmen?
We are in the butler's pantry area. This is just amazing.
Yeah,
So
this turned out really pretty.
It's got the same countertops as the kitchen and the same color as the island. And then this upper area with the glass, it just got installed this last week and it looks amazing.
The doors will come on after the hardwood's in. The builder didn't want to add extra weight, and also you want your surface to be totally level when you're putting the doors on. He's going to adjust the drawers after having the hardwood underneath it. But
yeah, because you can see that these have more decorative feet on them than the rest of the kitchen, and so the hardwood's going to have to go under there.
yeah, but we're really pleased with this. It gives us a ton of storage for, this really replaces having a china cabinet.
Yep.
It's something beautiful built in, and I always want to shut them, but it's got the
Soft close.
soft close, so it closes all on its own, which is pretty stinking cool. But yeah, we're really thrilled. Neat thing, we have corbels that are being built
Yep.
that are going to come down underneath here. They'll be painted out the same color.
Make it look like one big piece.
Yeah.
All right, here I am in the little powder room off of the butler's pantry, and you can see actually I didn't have anything to do with this one. I came over on Friday the other day, and Gary had finished it already. So this is the wallpaper that went up, and it's just absolutely beautiful in the mirror. And then the vanity will go right under that, and it's the matching piece to this mirror. It's just gonna look amazing.
Okay, you can see we're sitting, this is just half of the hardwood that we've got for this house. I think it represents, we've got 1,919 square feet of hardwood. We are so excited. This big mound of raw wood is going to be transformed into something absolutely beautiful, and that's going to be like putting the makeup on this house. I think it's going to just really.
Once the floors are in, it's just gonna be like, whoa, it's done. Obviously, there's gonna be a few little things, but it's gonna really make it feel like a home again.
So we're going to make it in by Christmas?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
We hope that you guys are having a wonderful week, wonderful holiday season. Keep checking back with us. We'll continue to bring you episodes until we get in this house. And we hope you just have an awesome day. God bless. Have a great week.